This is Dr. Brierly again, and I'm here with Dr. Georry Grune and his green product line. Dr. Grune, tell us a little bit about what you got.
Well, what's happened over the last several years is in response to what we felt was a need that was out there, is to develop products that are green, renewable, sustainable,
Sure.
healthful products. There's been a real push for that in the industry for many, many years. I was fortunate in that I started working in this field back in the 90s. And I was involved in something called life cycle assessment, which is basically what would you do, or why would you make anything that you couldn't reuse or dispose of properly, or in somehow be able to remanufacture. And what's happened is, of course, since the 90s, is this become a real trend, right? People don't want to just be making waste on the planet. And of course, the problem with wastes are that you have to dispose of them properly, or they can become toxic. And we're in an area today where toxic waste has been an issue for a long time.
Yeah.
And so, that's the area that, from my engineering and science background, I've spent a lot of time on in the last 15 years, last 20 years now. And what's happened is that led to making products in the green space, as we call it. And that includes everything from biofuel additives to SPF products that we
Sure.
talked about, which is Third Rock Sunblock, and some of the other spin-offs from that, which include Neutrolium, which is a green jelly. It's an alternative to petroleum jelly.
Yeah.
Most people know of Vaseline, but realize that Vaseline is a petroleum-based product,
Sure.
and petroleum-based products are not green, renewable, sustainable products, right? They have to get that out of the ground, and as we get more and more oil and gas out of the ground, we realize that that's not sustainable for the rest of eternity. So our products are actually made from food-grade edible substances only. A lot of them are made from glycerin or vegetable-based
Sure.
glycerin, and that includes the Neutrolium product. We also are working with AG Essence. AG Essence is www.agessence.com. The AG stands for silver.
Silver.
And in their manufacturer facilities in Richmond, Virginia, in addition to a chelated zinc oxide that we make, my manufacturer in Richmond with AG Essence is making silver oxide, chelated silver oxide.
Which
and
is different from other silver products?
It is. It's completely different. He's got patent pending on several products there, and I do patent work with him, and we have for a long time. And his product line is really antimicrobial, antibacterial, but also food-grade edible, because we're using chelated silver oxide,
Sure.
which is completely safe. It wipes bacteria out. It wipes out basically everything it comes into contact with that's toxic for the human system.
Sure. That's what your testing showed on that?
Our testing showed, it's a good question. So our testing has showed that we wipe out staph, and we wipe out some of the negative strain bacteria as well. And we're actually incorporating his technology into mouthpieces for scuba divers and mouth guards for athletes.
Wow.
Because, as you can imagine, there's a ton of bacteria on stuff that people put in there,
Sure.
in and out of their mouths. So, and there's patents been granted already on that technology. So
Pretty neat.
those are all green products because they're renewable, they're sustainable. We use so little silver oxide. We're talking about parts per million of the silver oxide. Right. Whereas the zinc oxide, the chelated zinc oxide, we use up to 20–25% of that in our sunscreen or sunblock. But again, these are earth-based products. They're not synthetic, right? They're not man-made. Silver and zinc oxide ores are mined. And so we feel like we really have sort of made an inroad into developing a whole green product line with all of these products. So we've got Third Rock Sunblock.com. We've got CPSPowershot.com, which is part of CPS Biofuels.
Yep.
And we've got AGEssence.com, which is all the chelated silver oxide products.
Awesome.
And we've sort of merged all that together into sort of one sustainable, renewable, green development product line that is now starting to see some results in the retail markets that we're delving into.
Super. Super, super.
It's interesting.
Thank you very much, Dr. Grune. That was awesome.